Mastering reality, the matrix you didn't know you lived in. What if I told you that everything you believe about reality is a lie? That the solid world around you, the chair you're sitting on, the phone in your hand, even your own body is 99.999999% empty space. If we removed all the empty space from every human on the planet, the remaining physical matter would fit inside of a single sugar cube. Think about that. Let that sink in. That fact alone should shatter your concept of what's real, but it gets deeper. What if the life you're living, the struggles, the limitations, the constant sense that you're stuck, isn't because of the world, but because of a fundamental misunderstanding of how reality actually works? You've been taught to be a passive observer, reacting to circumstances you think are outside of your control. But what if reality is more like a simulation? What if you're not just in the game, you're the coder? What if the rules you think govern life are hackable? The walls around you aren't made of brick, they're made of beliefs. And beliefs can be rewritten. Keep watching, because if this resonates with you, you're already starting to wake up. This video could be your red pill moment. And once you take it, there's no going back. Are you ready to see how deep the rabbit hole goes? Cracking the illusion. Most of us are raised to believe the world is fixed, predictable, and mechanical, like a giant cosmic machine. This model comes from Newtonian physics, which taught us that everything works like clockwork. Action, reaction, cause, effect. Solid objects moving through space and time, bound by rigid rules. It's comforting until you realize it's completely outdated. Over 100 years ago, science stumbled into a world that shattered this illusion. Welcome to quantum mechanics, a realm that refuses to play by the old rules. At the subatomic level, particles don't behave like tiny marbles. They exist as waves of probability, potential realities, not solid things. They don't become real until something or someone observes them. This is called the observer effect, and it flips everything upside down. Your observation doesn't just witness reality, it helps generate it. You are not separate from the universe. You're woven into it. You are the observer, the lens through which the simulation renders itself. And it doesn't stop there. It's more like a living hologram, responsive, intelligent, and tuned to consciousness. It shifts based on the information it receives from you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs. These are the inputs. Reality is the output. You don't live in a world that's happening to you. You live in a world that's happening because of you. And if you think that sounds crazy, consider this. The material world at its deepest level, again, is 99.99999% empty space. What we call matter is just energy, vibrating into form, governed by invisible rules. When you believe you're just a powerless bystander, you give away your influence. But when you realize reality is moldable, you step into the role as a conscious creator. This isn't mysticism. This is the bleeding edge of science. The simulation doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to your state of being, your vibration, your frequency. If your life feels like it's stuck on loop, it's not a punishment, it's a reflection of thoughts, emotions, beliefs you've consciously broadcast again and again. But here's the empowering truth. The code is changeable. And once you understand that, you stop living in reaction. And you start rewriting reality from the inside out. Hello, I'm Bob Randklev, Life Transformation Coach. If you're here, it's probably because you feel it, that quiet inner pull telling you Life is meant to be more joyful, more abundant, more meaningful. Yet for so many people, life feels like a loop, trapped in cycles of fear, self-doubt, and uncertainty. Here's the truth. Transformation doesn't come from reading another book or trying to meditate your way through chaos. True transformation rewires how you think, feel, and show up in the world every single day. It creates a life of clarity, confidence, and purpose. If that resonated with you, book a free discovery call and download your free training and meditation audio. Details are in the description below. This isn't about improving your life, it's about transforming it from the inside out. And just so you know, hundreds of people from around the world have already transformed their lives through our life transformation program. You can too. Details are in the description below. You are the programmer. Imagine life as a virtual reality game. You were born into it, strapped into the headset, unaware it's even a game. You look around and think this world is all there is. Jobs, traffic, bills, drama. But there's a hidden layer, and here's the twist. You're not just a character inside the game, you're also the programmer. Most people live as if they're stuck with the code they've been given, running outdated scripts written by parents, teachers, society, trauma, fear. But the truth is, the game responds to you. Every thought, emotion, and belief you hold is like a line of code, shaping what loads in next. So the real question is, what kind of reality are you unconsciously programming? If you believe the world is unsafe, your simulation will populate with threats. If you believe you're unworthy, the code will reflect lack, missed opportunities, toxic relationships, endless struggle. But here's where everything changes. Once you realize you are the coder, you can begin to rewrite the rules. You can delete the scarcity script. You can uninstall the fear virus. You can upload new instructions aligned with purpose, peace, and power. This isn't metaphysical fluff, it's logic. It's how reality is wired. Let's go deeper. Think of your mind as the interface. Your beliefs are the operating system. Your emotions are feedback mechanisms, showing whether the code you're running aligns with your higher truth or not. The problem is, most of us never check for bugs. We never question the code. We keep rerunning stories that don't serve us and wondering why the simulation feels broken. It's not broken. It's just running the instructions you've given it, consciously or unconsciously. This is why awareness is everything. When you become aware of the program you're running, you regain your power to choose, to write new instructions, to recode your reality. And here's the secret most never hear. The simulation doesn't care who you used to be. It only responds to who you're being right now. So if you've spent years in survival mode, playing small, chasing validation, it doesn't matter. What matters is your next command. Command with clarity and the game shifts. Speak with certainty and the path rewrites itself. The simulation listens not to your words, but to your frequency. And when that frequency aligns with truth, power, and purpose, the game stops resisting. It starts rearranging. You'll notice synchronicities, unexpected solutions, unfoldings you couldn't have planned for. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Because you're not just inside the simulation, you're the source code behind it. And once you step into that truth, the old rules start to glitch. And that's when the magic begins. Escaping the mental prison. There's a reason you feel stuck sometimes, and it's not because life is hard or the universe is against you. It's because you're trapped inside a mental prison, a prison built not from steel, but from stories, from conditioning, from invisible chains made of beliefs you never chose. You were handed a script at birth, told who you are, what's possible, what's safe, what's acceptable. But here's the glitch in the system. Most of that script is a lie. You've been taught to doubt your own power, to chase approval, to believe success requires struggle, that fulfillment is somewhere out there waiting for you. But what if those beliefs aren't facts, but viruses in your code? Let's get specific. Ever heard that you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes, or you'll be happy when? That's programming. Those aren't truths. They're mental malware passed down generation to generation. And unless you become aware of them, they run your life from the shadows. They tell you to play small, to avoid risk, to stay inside the lines. They disguise themselves as being realistic, when in reality they're just fear wearing a mask. But here's the paradox. The prison walls aren't real. They only exist as long as you believe in them. Once you question the story, you weaken the code. And once you rewrite the story, the walls fall. This is why awareness is the first superpower. Because when you become aware of the narrative you're living inside of, you gain the ability to change it. You move from reacting to life to authoring it. Think about it. If your awareness is the spotlight, whatever you shine on it expands. Focus on problems, and they multiply. Focus on possibilities, and they emerge. But most people live on autopilot, shining their light on what's wrong, what's missing, what's broken, not because they're negative, but because they're asleep inside a dream of limitation. They don't know they're dreaming. They don't know they can wake up. But you do. Right now, in this moment. And that awareness, that flash of realization, is the beginning of freedom. Because when you know the cage isn't locked, you stop waiting for permission to leave. You stop asking for validation. You stop needing the world's approval to become who you already are. So here's your challenge. Start watching your thoughts like a hacker scans for bugs. Start questioning every belief that begins with I can't, I shouldn't, or that's just the way it is. That's not reality. That's inherited limitation. You don't escape the simulation by fighting the old code. You escape it by writing something new. You escape it by waking up. Mastering the simulation. Now that you know the rules aren't fixed, the question becomes, how do you play the game? How do you move from unconscious programming to conscious creation? The answer lies in one word: alignment. Mastering the simulation doesn't mean controlling every outcome. It means tuning yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions, to the frequency of the life you want. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you're dialed into a station of fear, scarcity, or lack, you'll receive experiences that match. But when you tune to clarity, confidence, and trust, that signal shifts, and so does the broadcast. Most people try to manifest by force through hustle, control, or desperation. But in the simulation, force doesn't create, frequency does. Reality doesn't respond to how hard you try, it responds to who you are being. So ask yourself, in this very moment, what signal am I sending? Because every emotion, every belief, every intention is a transmission. And the field is always listening. If you want to change what shows up out there, you must first change what you radiate from within. This is where active meditation becomes your most powerful tool. Not just sitting still, but entering a state where your mind, heart, and energy are aligned with your vision, where you intend from clarity, not desperation. where your focus becomes a command, your feeling becomes fuel, your presence becomes power. That's when the game starts bending in your favor. That's when the simulation becomes responsive. That's when you realize you weren't born to survive this program. You were born to master it. You felt it, haven't you? That quiet nudge in your soul, that whisper that says there's more. More to life, more to you, more to this reality than what you've been told. This is your wake-up call. Not to just think differently, but to live differently. To see beyond the illusion and reclaim your role as the creator of your experience. You were never meant to be a prisoner in the simulation. You were meant to rise, to lead, to rewrite the rules. If this spoke to something deep in you, like this video, share it and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs it. And remember to book a free discovery call and download your free training and meditation audio. The details are in the description below. Your transformation begins with one decision. Make it today.